Thank you for watching the video. First of all, I would like to express my wish. I would like to meet Mr. Kevin Bacon with your help. Yes, Kevin Bacon, the movie actor who is active in Hollywood. I adore him, but there are reasons why I want to meet him. Let me explain a little. I have an illness. I've been diagnosed as depressed. With the support of my loved ones, I'm trying to get back on my feet, but I'm still struggling. For a long time, I thought that the cause of my illness was introspection. I thought that I was the problem, but I was wrong. I realized that the reason I couldn't recover from my illness was because of the problems the society was having. Of course, I'm not saying that all of these problems are the fault of society. However, it's true that society has problems. I'm a social worker for about 20 years. I've been doing social work in the three fields of welfare, community, and medical care. I mainly provide counseling to people in financial need. I've always felt a contradiction. People who receive welfare living without any inconvenience, while people who do not receive welfare living through carrying, crying with little money. Such is the reality. For the past 20 years, I witnessed the reversal of the situation between those who receive welfare benefits and those who live in poverty without receiving welfare benefits. I've continued to hear the voice screams. Please don't misunderstand me. I have no intention of denying the welfare recipients. What I want you to pay attention to is the political system. I've always felt that this situation was strange. Every time I did, I would calm myself down by saying something like this. The people in charge of politics are doing the best they can for us based on the systems they have developed throughout history. The smart bureaucrats are combining their wisdom to provide us with the best social security system they can right now. That's what I believed. But unfortunately, I'm now convinced that I was wrong. Over the past few years, many people have proven this to be true. Guy Standing, an international economist, he expressed my sense of discomfort. And historian Rutger Bregman. Please check out his videos. There are many other people around the world who have expressed the contradictions I feel in our society. When people hear the word basic income, they seem to associate it with unrealistic and leftist ideology. But that's not the point. That's not the point. To those who feel this way, I would like to ask, are you serious? Are you seriously thinking about the future of humanity? How long do you expect us to tolerate this warped society that I've witnessed? Person A is worthy of welfare, or person B is not. Do you think the government will continue to make such judgments in the future? Isn't that the same as person A being allowed free expression and person B not being allowed free expression? And is that really the kind of society we should be proud of? I would like to ask the question. A society does not have to be communist. Let politics take care of it. It's for the best. That's what I've been telling myself for the past 20 years. But that doesn't change anything. The lives that could have been saved will not be saved. A new government is born, and the opposition pursues the scandal of the new head of government. The cycle continues. I'm sick of it. But important about that, and there are many other programs. Isn't the same thing happening in your country? If you have a politician you trust, I apologize for that. I'm sorry. Incredibly, 5 people die of starvation every day in Japan. In this country alone, 1 person dies of starvation every 5 hours. It's impossible for one case worker to understand the living conditions of more than 100 welfare recipients. Technology is advancing, and life is supposed to be the most comfortable it has ever been in the history of mankind. But people's happiness is not keeping pace. More and more people are suffering from depression like me, and suicides are on the rise. This is a very busy site. In every age, there are disasters, infectious disease, and unexpected events. And in every age, there are lazy and arrogant people, but we have to prevent people from starving to death. It's not an incurable disease. This tragedy can be ended if human beings share their wisdom, and it will also reduce the mental stress of many people. Human rights must be created by us. Income security is a people's right that must be achieved early in the 21st century. It's a natural right that must be earned just like the right to freedom and social rights. For example, you may want to make income security a reality from where you are watching this video. It may be difficult to get the right to income security of the ground in your country alone. In the case, all the supporting countries in the world will support it with all kinds of money, virtual currencies, and all kinds of backups to make it happen. If sustainable and permanent income security can be achieved in their own countries, the next country or region will also be able to realize income security. As a result, as many people as possible in the world will have the security of income security as a natural right. Wouldn't such a society be wonderful? The Olympics and the World Cup are wonderful events. In addition, what we need to realize in the early stage of the 21st century is not only to compete, but also to create a system to help each other beyond national borders. Distance have to be limited to a basic income. It can be targeted to make people's lives better. In the same way that the next host country will be decided, the people of the world will gain the security of income security in stages, continent by continent. This is not an impossible task if people across borders unite their efforts. Until the day when no one hears the voice of someone solving, let's work with interest. I'm just a social worker. I need the ideas of many experts and in the lectures to change this world. However, I know how to change this world. The answer is surprisingly simple. It's true until a tipping point. Water turns into steam when its temperature rises and reaches boiling point. If the temperature of our voice remains low, the change will not come. Have you ever heard of Kevin Bacon's law? In mathematics, it's also known as the addition number. It's the hypothesis of the sixth degree of separation. The great thing about technology is that it can be easily disseminated. Please forward this video to 6 people. 5 is also fine. Life will come to an sooner or later. Let's work together, not for me, not for you, but for the children of the future. Technology is advancing day by day. The social system that supports our lives need to be updated as well. If I can meet Kevin Bacon, even indirectly, I believe it will make a difference in people's lives. With a little help at your fingertips, it can be a huge force. My dream is to create a better society that is full of smiles and possibilities, matching the lives of people living the day. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "You don't have to choose the right time to do the right to think. First, the right to be able to decide for ourselves what ourselves will be. Second, the right to have the security of knowing that we will have steady income. Third, the right to have the option to correct our own mistakes. Only when these 3 conditions are met can we achieve personal dignity." He goes on to say, "When we become silent about what is at stake, our lives begin to come to an end. When the temperature of our voice rises and reaches a boiling point, we can reach a tipping point. When that happens, the world will change. If you are at all interested in what I have to say, please take a little action. Now is the time for all of us to work together to get the rights we deserve. Once again, please question the common sense of society." Thank you very much for your time and attention.